Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel for this episode 18 here on New Frontier with me, Farmer Murphy. Well, it's about 8:45, July 1st, first day of the month, and if you guessed we were going to do some harvesting, you guessed correctly. You can see our oat field there behind me is ready to go, and we have our harvester sitting there. But before we start that, I'll just update you on the financial side. We are now back up to 141,000 because we did sell some silage bales, some of the ones that were already fermented there that we had in the shed. And I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was 2 loads we sold of 24 bales each, or like 48 bales total we sold. And we sold some wood products. So that helped, flush out our bank account a little bit. Now we still have some silage bales we can sell. The ones that the most recent ones we baled up, of course they weren't fermented last month, but they should be fermented soon and we can sell some of those off. But for now, let's get into the harvester and get some harvesting done. Get her fired up here. Oh, I guess we need to unfold it. Guess I'll have to jump out of cab to make sure that's going on. Lower her down. Now we're going to start in cab here. Not too bad a view with this header size. It's just, I'm going to try and avoid dragging you through the trees. So we'll start out here in cab. We've never gotten to use this. Grandpa Walter did it last time, so pretty nice unit. Actually, I wonder if that display is updating. Oh, it is too. It is giving us how much crop or grain we have on board. So I am doing this rather than Grandpa Walter this time, just simply because we didn't get to do any harvesting last time. Grandpa Walter did it all. And I am trying to do things a little different because my initial thought was to do it the same way Grandpa Walter harvesting and myself carting, but I did say I wanted to move things along a little quicker, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to harvest one hopper full here myself so that we can get to see this in action up close and personal. And then the rest of the harvest, this oat harvest here and the canola harvest, which is ready, I'll finish off camera. Now previously I would have likely done the 2 harvests and that would have been an episode. But I'm just going to try and get more done in an episode so things move a little bit quicker. So what it'll mean is you'll see a little bit less of each operation, especially if it's one we've done before, and more operations in an episode. That's the plan. Because, there's lots of good mod maps out there. We want to get off a New Frontier before FS25, whatever the next game comes out. It's just, in real life, too, it's easier for me to take and base an episode just around one operation. Hard for me to, or can be difficult for me to do several operations in an episode just because of real life constraints. I get maybe a 2 or 3 hour window of opportunity to record, and so just doing one thing in that time and recording it is easier for me. But I'm going to try and make it work. Challenge, because I'm going to do it on both the episodes I got going, or series I've got going, but I'm going to do my level best, and still I'm trying to put an episode out every 4 days is kind of my target, and I'm doing pretty good on that. Every once in a while I slip up and I miss it by a day or so, but been pretty good recently. Anyways, all of this crop that we're going to harvest, we are going to keep. We're either going to use it for pig food or for essentially production. That's what this oat is headed for. my grandmother I'd mentioned wants to do a custom baking shop here on the farm at some point. So we're going to hang on to this oats for to make flour. And oat flour is a real thing. Our local bakery here makes a whole wheat, no, I guess not whole wheat, a whole grain oat bread. And it is actually delicious. It's one of my favorites. So oat bread is a real thing. It is made. So we're going to hang on to it for that. Now, we may have extra crop. We likely will, and we certainly will in the future, that we'll be able to sell. But for right now, we'll just hang on to everything. And once we've for sure determined we have extra, then we'll sell off what extra we have. Can't remember now if I just mentioned, but our canola is ready. And then our sorghum, which is in front of us there, actually, let's stop and take a look because I can't remember when that's ready. Let's open up our calendar here and look. Sorghum should be next month. We should be able to get that. And then when do we put barley in? Barley goes in September. We'll probably do canola again, so that's August, that's good. And we'll either do sorghum or corn after that. And where the heck, I'm probably looking at it and not seeing it. Yep. What I want to do when our fields are empty is I want to put in a precision farming. So it looks like we'll be able to do that sometime next month. So the plan is I'll get the harvest done. I'll show you, like I said, one hopper full. We should check and see how we're doing. About half full. We'll get one hopper full, and then I'll leave you and I'll finish the rest of the harvest off camera. Then I'll bring you back in for a little baling, and once the baling's done, we're going to start to make up some feed mixes. I'm going to fill the pens up. I won't keep you for that entire process, but we'll keep you on for the first mix because it'll be the first time we're doing it with all our own materials or constituent parts that were grown here on the farm. And I think at that point we should be pretty close to an episode. This particular like doing these multiple tasks might mean the episodes might be a little bit shorter too, as hard as that may be to believe. We'll see, because when I say that we're going to do one hopper full, some baling, and make some mixes, it doesn't seem like that would take us 45 minutes in real life, but we'll see. But just out of necessity, because I just have a limited recording window available, I might have to cut them just a little bit shorter, back in the 30-minute range, just because I run out of time because of, I do need to get some off-camera work done in between. And that's another thing I should mention. You may notice, likely what I'll do is I'll just harvest this oats, and I actually won't do the canola off camera in between, so you might see shots of it still standing, because like I said, just due to real life constraints, I'll jump right onto the baling once we get this into our silo. That makes sense. So just going forward, if you see any inconsistencies that way, if I'm going to do something off camera and it doesn't get done before you see the next operation, that's why. Just because if I can do things kind of in what I would call a linear fashion, one right after the other, I will do so. Even though in real life you probably would likely harvest most fields and then do the baling. Oh, or maybe not. I guess there's no rule on that. Anyways, hopefully that makes some sort of sense. $8,000 liters. I think we hold just a little over 10, so too much longer and we'll be full. Now I'm hoping to add some pigs in at the end of the month. If I don't forget, we'll add some more piglets. And even the crop for the pig foods, I know we'll probably have way more than we actually need, but I'll just hang on to it for the time being. And kind of like when the next crop is done, we'll earmark whatever's remaining to be sold. Something like that. Oh, I guess we should take a... My intention wasn't to do it all inside, although that's how I tend to play, actually, is that camera view rather than the external view. Now, you may have noticed running down the other side there was a bit of a blip again. My recording stopped. I made an adjustment, a suggestion that I saw online that prevent. Well, now that's ironic. I was just talking about it and it happened again, and that's the first time it's ever happened twice in an episode. And it's happened twice in the first 10 minutes of this episode. So that adjustment, I don't think made things better, but actually made them worse. So I think when I put her back the way she was. There we are. We are full. All right. Well, I'll leave you there then, and I will get this oats in the granary, and we'll bring you back in, and we'll do some baling so we can make up some feed mixes. So I'll catch up with you in a little while. Well, we are back, and it's about 11:30. So it took a little time to get that field harvested, but we are set up here and ready to make some hay bales, some straw bales. Now we're making 180 centimeter bales, so that should give us an 11,000 liter straw bale. Now, last episode I kept confusing, for some reason, the ratio between hay and silage bales. I don't know what was going on. Didn't notice it at all until I edited it and realized I was saying it sometimes correct, sometimes backwards. Guess that's what happens when you get older. I don't know. But anyways, the correct ratio is for every 9,000 liter hay bale, which is the largest hay bale we could make, we need two 5,500 liter silage bales. So it's 2 to 1. So for example, we've got close to 20 hay bales, so we need 40 silage bales. And there's no point in keeping any more than that. So we can sell off anything over and above that. And for the straw bales, we'll keep 1 for 1 to the hay. So we're going to use, I can't remember now with our new mix, I think it's only 3,000 liters of straw, if I remember correctly. So we'll have a bunch left over out of each bale, and that will go towards the animal bedding. And that should be plenty of bedding, I think, at least right now, because our animals are, a lot of young animals, and we're just not going through as much bedding. That ratio may need to change in the future. I'm sure it will, actually. As we get more animals, there'll be more demand on it. But for now, I think we'll be good. But I'll likely keep an extra bale or two around just in case. But the rest of them we will sell, because I know it's not worth much, but it's not worth nothing either. So every little bit helps. And there's just no point storing product that we don't need. Now, we ended up... Did I lift it? I sure did. I'll have to come back and fix that. Didn't mean to lift the pickup up. We got 52,000 liters of oats off this field, is what the end result was. So we're just going to hang on to that for now. And in addition to the hard disk space, being a potential issue as to why my recordings were stopping, I also realized that today I installed a new driver, a graphics driver today. So that also could be causing issues. I mean, that wouldn't be the first time that that's happened, that a new driver would cause something to go on. So that's another potential culprit. Not much I can do about that one, although there is a facility to go and roll back, but I'll make Google in a day or two, because I just got the notice today, so it should be a pretty fresh driver. I didn't actually look at the release date, but see if others are having the issue. Or if it's still just a Murphy thing, but we'll see how this recording goes, if it stays in place or dumps out, because certainly isn't going to be hard disk anymore. Boy, you can really see those dark patches in our grass field there. Now, I did paint grass over top of those. I painted full-length grass and mowed it because I was curious what we lost, and it was basically 8% is how it worked out. We got 8% more bales. Now, that whole entire patch wasn't bald. You know, we did get a little grass off of that, so might have been, I'm going to guesstimate, like a 5% yield loss. But what I'm curious is when the hailstorms come rolling through, do we get other patches that show up as hail damaged or not? Because, you know, if you look across, well, this isn't a very good spot to look, but I'll show you on the other side. You know, there's big areas of grass like in there, and even bigger natural areas here where we're headed. And there's no sign of any kind of hail damage in there. And I think the painted grass is pretty much the same as that grass. So my thinking is we won't see any additional new damage in our grass fields. That's the plan anyways. And we'll get at least 5% more bales. But you can see this natural area here in front of us. There's lots of open space, and there's not a bit of hail damage. And if that grass was damaged by hail, just judging by what it does to our crop fields, we'd see patches of it. So we got that little test going on. See how that works out. No. Well, I backed up. Got it a little bit out of the way. I realized where that was going to dump. I have to turn my sound down quite a bit when I'm recording, or else it'd backfeed through the mic. So I couldn't hear if the baler was running or not. So I was just checking to make sure it was still picking up, that I didn't accidentally turn it off. Because if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I'm prone to doing that sort of thing. Just like picking the pickup up in the middle of the road that happened just back there. I do crazy things like that. Now I'm going to leave any field prep till our sorghum field is harvested, and we'll do them all at the same time. I mean, I'm sure I could mulch the canola field and this field, and it wouldn't be affected by precision farming going in, but might as well just do all three fields at once. So that's what I'm going to do. So once we get the harvest done and the bales off, that will be it for field work for this month. Now I know I normally go around and pick up those headland bales so they're not in my road, but I'm just not going to bother this time. Not much more exciting than baling hay or silage. Just a different color product coming out the back. Well, I think you guys probably have the idea there, and that's probably been close to 10 minutes. That's kind of what I was aiming for, so hopefully I hit that mark. So I'll leave you there. I'll get this baled up, picked up, and I'll give you a bale count when we get back, and we'll start making some feed mixes and get our pens filled up. And then once that's done, we'll use kind of our hay bales as the gauge, and we'll know what bales we can sell off. So we'll see you when we're ready to do a feed mix. It is quite a bit later in the day. You can see it's after 4 o'clock. It's getting close to supper time here. And I am set up to go to do some feed mixes here to end the day. Now, I have a clipboard I clip on the wall of the shop here, so I know what I have for bales in our shed. And so I'm going to read them out to you, the amounts that we have, because that dialog box is pretty small. But I'm only going to give you the full bales. I'm not going to count the partial bales. So of the 5,500 liter silage bales, we have 133. Of the 9,000 liter hay bales, we have 21. And of the 11,000 liter straw bales, we have 24. Then like this, a few partial bales. So the limiting factor for feed mixes for us is the 21 hay bales. So we can do 21 mixes. That means that we have, or we need, I should say, 42 silage bales. So what that's nearly 90 bales that we can sell, which we will do. I have enough mineral feed to do 6 mixes. You can see I have one on the obviously magic pellet forks. And I put that on there off camera because it was being a nuisance. When they're packed up close like that, I actually would have been better off with standard pellet forks because it wants to pick up a whole bunch of them. but I'm running out of time here in real life to get this recording done. So I just did some PC whiz bangery to get it done so we can get on with this project. So forgive me for that. But I think in the future what I'll do is I'll have a set of regular pallet forks down here to do this with. Now, you can drop, actually, you know what, let's do that. Let's do that, I'll show you that. You can load it up, like jump in the tractor and load the pallets up that way, like they'll load in like they would with any other pallet, seed pallet or anything like you're loading in a trailer. But we can actually take this pallet and also, what doesn't seem to work, or I haven't got to work so far in 25, even with standard pallet forks, is it like they used to, you could just hold it over top and they'd empty in. Well, I haven't had any luck with that. And I have tried with regular pallet forks, but you can drop it in like that. Now let me back out of the way here so we can see. Now, if we go and jump in our case here and look, our pallet's just sitting there. But not to worry. Fire up the old case here, turn on our mixing wagon, and it'll blend it in. So if, just in case you weren't aware of that, I discovered that works just fine. Or you can set it beside it and load it that way too. Either way works. Okay, let's get back in our... Oh, we need some bales. So for our mix here, we're going to need 2 silage bales. And we're going to need a hay bale. And our big hay bales here, we just need 1 of those. And we might as well grab, there's a partial straw bale in here, we might as well grab that. Let's see, where is that? No, there's a partial straw bale. Okay. Oh, and you know what? We should take the, oops. Take the wrap off of those. Don't need the plastic in our mix. Now we'll go and get, I have our bale grab set up here right where I can almost back into it. Very handy. Good thing the fence was there to stop me. Brakes are a little weak. Okay. Whoops. I didn't notice that had changed selection. All right, we'll do that. There we go. We'll get this. We'll get this. Now that needs to be picked up. My goodness. I am trying to rush a little bit because I know I'm about to be inundated with the family here. So, trying to get this done. Alright. Now, it doesn't matter what we start with here, either the silage or the hay, obviously, because they're 100% going in, and then we just top off with the straw. Now, I was planning on doing a couple mixes, but I've had a few little issues, so I think we're probably only going to have time to do 1 mix. I know it'll make for a bit shorter of an episode than what I have been doing, but it is what it is, as they say. You have to deal with the hand you're dealt. It should still be 30 minutes, but it won't be 40, I'm sure. Oops, I don't think I need to move up on that a little bit more. It's all this grab can handle is those large bales. Oops, still in reverse. Now we just top it off with our straw bale. First, just want to make sure our straw went in, and there we go, perfect mix. Let's go give it to our cows. Now I just gotta repeat that 5 more times, and then I can go and have some supper. In game and in the real world. Oh shoot. I don't remember changing that. There we go. Get it going out the right side. Now I took a quick look. 6 mixes should get us very close to filling all these pens up, and that'll still leave us the ability to make 15 mixes, so still well above our target of 12, so we should be okay. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave you there. I know that's going to cut this episode, like I said, probably a little bit short. But I'm hitting a window here in real life and need to wrap this up. And for the last little bit that's left, I don't want to wait for another day or two to be able to record. So I'll just leave it there. And like I said, I will finish up those harvests, and I will bring you in, and we'll put precision farming in, and we'll start prepping our fields for the first time, our first use of precision farming here on the farm. So that should be pretty interesting. So if you're still with me, I really appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to see when other awesome content like this episode lands, well, hit that old notification bell. But for this episode, it's Farmer Murphy signing off from New Frontier.